Hey guys, it's Chronic Splendor here. I'm sorry I'm a little late with the video. I just been really busy at school and stuff. I haven't really had much time um, to record. So anyways, without further ado, here's my analysis. So The Walking Dead Season 2 premiere. I'm really happy it's back. I didn't realize how much I missed the show until I actually started watching the premiere, and I was like, wow, I haven't seen Season 1 for like a year now, and I've just been watching all these other shows in the meantime, but I'm really glad it's back. Um, it's really good for getting you back into the mindset of The Walking Dead, seeing what happened right after the finale last year, and just seeing where all the characters are and their mindsets and thoughts and everything. So I'm just gonna get started now. So we start off right at the beginning with Rick giving a little monologue to the character, the father and the son from the first episode, and kind of a throwback to the last season, just to refresh new and old viewers. And then they basically head straight out of Atlanta and start moving away. And they hit a point where they can't go any further because they're blocked by cars, and then the RV starts smoking up, so they have to take a pit stop. And this ties into the whole Rick. The whole group basically starts scavenging the cars and for parts and resources, whatever they can find, to help them get going. And then this ties into the whole hiding under the cars idea I was talking about in my analysis of the season 2 trailer. And basically, the episode starts with the zombies walking out, and then Rick, it jumps from one zombie to many, and then Rick realizes that there's a whole swarm coming, and in his panic, because he's at the moment he's not close to anyone else, him and Dale realize that there's zombies coming, and then he panics, and everyone's separated looking through the cars and stuff. So there's no really coordinated effort in the panic to have a good strategy. So basically, he resorts to hiding under the cars, and what I thought was a bad idea before actually makes sense in the situation that we're presented to, because in that type of panic, when you spot all those zombies coming towards you, there's no way you can fight them all off, and running into the woods isn't a good idea either. So hiding under the cars is actually a pretty sensible idea in that regard. So it was nice seeing that not be a completely foolish decision. Anyways, this unravels to the rest of the episode and the consequences that come with it. So in the panic of the zombies walking by, we're presented with a lot of tense situations, and the main one is Carol's daughter Sophia, who I actually learned the name of both of them in this episode. Sophia basically gets chased by a zombie and gets discovered, and she runs off into the woods. So this sets off Rick trying to find Sophia, and also T-Dog cuts his arm on the vehicle, but it doesn't really affect anyone else. He almost gets killed by a zombie or eaten or whatever, but he gets saved by Daryl. And I don't know, I thought it would have been a lot interesting if they had killed maybe T-Dog in this episode to kind of raise the stakes right away. But they solved that in the closing of the episode anyways. I know I'm kind of skipping over the details of the episode, but that's not really I didn't really want to relay the plot to you guys, because you've already seen the episode, I'm assuming. But I just want to talk about the things that I found interesting in the premiere. Not really give it a review, but more like talk about what I thought it did good, what I thought it did well, and whatnot. So I found the premiere actually to be really good for characterizing the characters. I know in season 1 a lot of the characters didn't really have anything that made them stood out from a pack, just another person in the pack. But in the premiere, we're really given details about the individual characters. Like, for example, Carol, I didn't even know her name going into season 2. Her losing her daughter Sophia in the chaos and freaking out at Rick for it, I thought was done really well. I mean, the only character that really didn't have any characterization was Sophia, and she's one of the stakes in the episode where, as Rick alludes to in the beginning of the episode, they have some slim chance, and not everyone's going to make it. And Sophia seems to be like the first one out of the pack to get separated, and we don't know what happened to her. She may have gotten killed, but that's something that's still hanging in the air. Another character I thought they did a really good job of giving more detail to in this episode was Andrea, and her frustration over Dale not letting her have her way and forcing her to live instead of dying like she wanted to. But out of this we get a really cool scene where she stabs a zombie in the eye with a screwdriver in the panic when she's hiding in the RV, and she's the only one that doesn't really know what's going on. And she's just fixing or cleaning her gun, and then all of a sudden she looks out the window and there's a bunch of zombies, and it's just like a holy crap moment. And we get a really good, cool zombie scene with that, and a zombie with really good facial effects. And then, as well as her odds with Dale in the episode and their confrontation, she also makes a point to tell Shane that she wants to leave the group too. And she basically just gets mad at everyone. She even extends to Lori, telling everyone that, having to give everyone the down-to-earth speech that, I know you're panicked, but we can't start attacking each other. Like, instead of attacking each other, we should focus that against surviving. One of the most exciting things, too, I found in the premiere was it actually cast Shane in a sympathetic light. I know I hated on Shane before, just because he's been kind of a douchebag, like trying to rape Lori even, and just not leaving her alone, but you can kind of see where he's coming from here. And Lori just, all of a sudden just hangs him out to dry and just ignores him, and then expects him to still talk to her and everything. And then him trying to distance himself was really kind of a reasonable thing that anyone, I think, would do in that situation. Because he knows he did wrong, and he even says, no one's perfect, you've done wrong too. It doesn't take one person to make like an affair, it takes two. So anyways, kind of made him more likable in my eyes, and he's one of my favorite characters now, going into season 2, or the next episode. So that was one thing that I was very impressed by, because in season 1 I really hated his character. I know it's a good job by the actor and all, but his character just bugged me so much. And now in season 2, I can actually see myself maybe hoping that he doesn't die, and seeing where they go with that. Him still being alive as opposed to the canon comics where he's already dead by this point. So it'll be interesting to see where they take his character going into season 2. Of course, I couldn't end the episode end this analysis without talking about the main character, Rick. And we can see him maybe losing some of his faith in the next parts of the season, because there are many things that allude to this loss of faith in his ability to command his people and his ability to find salvation and even survive. Well, first, the whole fact of losing Sophia and him telling Sophia to hide under the branches and then her branching off, no pun intended, and then him feeling guilt and loss over that possibility that she might be dead, because we have no idea. And just his anger too, when he bashes the zombie in the face repeatedly with the rock, and his appeal to God, just trying to give him a sign, show me what's going wrong. Like, is it me? Is it my fault? I don't understand. Just show me a sign, and I've never been a believer, but just show me what I should do. And we see at the end of the episode that Rick, whatever faith he could possibly have, is shattered. So over the course of the episode, they go from losing Sophia to trying to find her, and in the course of trying to find her, they find many false alarms, which is kind of amusing. Well, first off, they they think they hear rustling, and then it's a walker. And then they run into a tent, and they search the tent, and there's no one in the tent except the dead guy that's rotting. And then they hear the church bells ringing, run over to the church, and then nothing, like another false alarm. And then at the very end again with the deer. And it's just this kind of sadistic poking that, you know, salvation is right around the corner, but first you have to go through all these hoops to find it. Another interesting part of the episode is when they stumble onto the church and the ringing bell, and seeing the walkers kind of sitting, I'm not sure if they're priests or not, but just sitting and praying in the church. Well, not praying, but sitting there, and like you would if you were attending a service or mass or whatever. And it's kind of interesting to see if they'll explore this further, like zombies doing whatever they did in the past life unknowingly. And it also forces the characters to see what they believe in and what they think about this religion and Christianity and whatever. Well, first off, with Daryl's joke about JC, you can clearly see he doesn't really care. Like, yo, JC, taking requests, or I think he said in the episode. And then Carol, too, just praying to find her son. I mean, her daughter. And just trying to get her back after all this loss. And then Rick, too, with his appeal to God, which I mentioned to before. And then, of course, the scene that has everyone thinking and talking. Just that scene with the innocent deer. And then Carl going up to the deer and trying to coax it over to pet it. And just that innocence of the child and the deer just looking for food. And then all of a sudden, that bullet that gets shot through the deer and into Carl kind of makes me think it was an accident to shoot Carl, because it came through the deer first, which I'm assuming was the hunter. The hunter that was shooting the deer was aiming for the deer, but didn't realize that Carl was standing right behind it, so the bullet just shot right through the deer and into Carl. Or maybe it was intentional, but who knows? Just this scene of innocence packed with violence just makes us wonder who shot Carl and how it all happened, and how is this going to work, and is this going to make kind of this innocent child character already getting exposed to this, and Rick further doubting himself and their chances of survival when his own son gets shot. And now it's not someone else's daughter, but it's his own flesh and blood. So I hope you all enjoyed that and enjoyed the premiere too. I definitely found it pretty entertaining and exciting. So you can expect me to post reviews as the season goes. I'm trying to test the demand for these videos, because it's bizarre, because one of my videos has like 21,000 hits, and that's the Walking Dead Season 2 analysis. And then the other ones have like 200, 300, so I'm not sure if people are clicking on the link expecting to see the actual trailer or to see someone talk about it. But I know there's definitely interest in it, so I'm going to continue to do it regardless. And just let me know what you think. Yada yada, like subscribe. I know a lot of you have already subscribed. Even just letting me know what you think just lets me know, what can I improve in my videos? What am I doing wrong? What am I doing right? And as long as it's constructive criticism and not hating, but I know you always get those hate comments anyway, so it doesn't really matter. It's not really going to scare me away from posting new videos. Anyways, yeah, so just tune in next week. Sometimes I'll probably post a bulletin like I did before, and hopefully this time I'll actually follow what I promised, but who knows what'll happen. I'm in the middle of a busy period in my life right now, so like the video, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys next week. Thank you. Thanks so much for watching.